All right, ready?
Real.
All right. Take three.
Oops. All right. Cut it out.
You got to take it off that one, and then
Because that's the
go
old one.
back into the new
Oh,
one. So, welcome to our podcast, Beauty Empire TV, where we dive deep into the world of style, hair care, and grooming. I'm your host, Jason Kim, and this is my co-host, Ingrid Riley. And in each episode, we sit down with talented stylists and barbers to hear their stories, insights, and expertise. We have with us here today Danielle, and we also have Charles.
hello.
And we'll be questioning them about how they came into the hair industry and their experiences. First question, this is for Danielle. Can you describe your experience in the hairstyling industry? How long have you been in it, and what drew you to this profession?
I've been in the hair industry for 14 years now. I basically was doing hair since I was a kid, and I found a passion as I got older in high school and went to the tech center, and that's where I got my license from, and I've been certified ever since.
Right.
A
What about
license, I
you,
would say.
Charles?
Started. Well, I'm actually been cutting hair since for about 20 years now. Started off roughly as a teenager, around about 14 years old. Got into it because my father used to cut my hair. He wasn't too great at it, so took the initiative on my own to cut my own hair. Started cutting, you know, friends in the neighborhood, schools, military, and so on. And once I got in the military, I went ahead and took it even more serious and got my license. Went to school to get my license and just took flight from there.
Right. Danielle, what types of hairstyles are your favorites, and what service are you most passionate about?
At this moment, my favorite hairstyle would be locks. Well, I would just say the extended locks or just making different styles out the locks, being creative with locks. Um, and I feel like that's kind of where the money is now because everybody loves locks and everybody's like the trend. So I'm keeping up with the trend.
What about you, Charles?
I guess my favorite would be the signature phase, the different types of phase, bald, tapered, light phase. But consider myself versatile as far as cutting all types of hairstyles. So I like them all, but fade is the best one I like the most.
Okay. What do you do, Charles, to stay updated with current trends and techniques in the hairstyling and barbering?
Um, Current training techniques. I would assume that the norm of what most everybody is doing. I kind of still go on YouTube and Instagram and watch, and pick up on and watch other barbers, barber stylists and things of that nature. So pretty much, yeah.
What about you, Danielle?
Well, I'm a content creator now because at first I wasn't. So now that I'm able to get my pictures and things out there, I've been looking at like TikTok videos when see different styles, just picking up different techniques that way. And really YouTube too, because YouTube keep you updated with everything. So I would say the same thing because everything now is social media. So it's pretty much right there in the palm of your hands. So you don't have to go nowhere. I mean, people still take courses and get certifications, but I feel like I'm more of a visual learner, so I kind of learn on my own or watch someone do it and I pick it up.
Can you share an example of a challenging hairstyle or client that you had and how you dealt with it?
Yeah, my women clients, they very picky. So I mentioned before, like they'll come in with a particular hairstyle they want in a picture, and they want it to look exactly like that. So I have to give them to them like, well, I can give you the style and make it look good. But difficult clients, I don't tolerate those. I feel as though I try to get most of my answers answered when questions answered when they contact me, so that way we all both on the same page, and I do kind of ask them over when they get in the chair, so we be normally on the same page. So I try not to have those difficult ones because being in my own business, I don't have to do you either. So
Mm.
that's another thing. You have a lot of clients that or people would just hit you up and demanding certain things, and you can already kind of tell by the energy. So
That you're not going to accept them.
exactly,
Correct. All money ain't good money.
That
Yep.
so yeah, I don't really have too many difficult clients, and most of them are reoccurring that I've been dealing with for a while. So everybody good.
What
with
about
me?
you, Charles?
Most of the time, I don't have difficult clients. The only times that I've had some where it might have been a language barrier, where we wasn't able to come up with or have an understanding of what they wanted. So most of the time when I run across those situations, I tend to go higher than what they asked for. So therefore that gives me some little wiggle room and play
Mm.
with so I can go down. So sometimes it might seem like it's tedious or take a little more time to do, but sometimes I feel like I gotta cut the person out 2 or 3 times. But we get it done and they happy when they leave.
So, how do you manage your appointments and prioritize your appointments?
Um, I use a personally I use an app called Booski, so that's where most of my appointments are set up through Booski. I still have some clients that don't like to use the app, so they'll text me or call me, and then I still will put it in my
Mm-hmm.
Booski app. Um, like I said, I have my walk-ins as well, but most of the time that's how I go about doing my appointments through Booski.
Okay.
How do you deal with your walk-ins and your regular guests that you service? How does that look?
Um, as well, my walk-ins, I let them know. Sometimes I may already have a appointment that's already in the chair,
Mm-hmm.
and I know I have an appointment that's coming up soon, whatever the walk-in will come in, and I'll let them know that I do appointments. I also do walk-ins, but I have another appointment coming up. So if you want to wait, you know, then you can go after my next appointment, or either I can give you my card and you can give me a call and we can set up an appointment for another time. If give them that option,
How long does it take you to do a haircut?
30 minutes or less.
Okay. Okay. Danielle, what about you?
Um, I use a Cutie. I love the app.
Mm-hmm.
It's a simplified app for me. So it's been working, and I can see my revenue, my like for like since I started, how much I made for the month, and that kind of keep me going because I see the total of the services I do, and you don't really see it while you doing hair. So kind of going back, I can look at all of my reports and stuff like that. So it's pretty easy for everybody to go on the book.
Do you guys take cash, cards? What form of payments do you all take?
Any Visa like platform like Cash App or PayPal and Zelle.
Yeah, I pretty much do cash and all of those phones, like she said, Cash App, Zelle, PayPal. I have all of them. Venmo, you name it.
I used to use cash though, but I had a fraud. Somebody gave me some fake money one time, so I had stopped it.
What?
Yeah, the 20s looked fake, and I had stopped it for a while, but now I brought it back. So,
Did you report the money?
so when I did, no, I didn't. I didn't.
She probably didn't even know who it came from because she been doing a whole lot of cash sales throughout the day.
Right, but I did exactly know who it was. So when I actually contacted the client, they was like, "Oh, it ain't fake. I got it off the bank. I mean, the ATM, but they still sent me a whole extra 130 on Cash App. So you was guilty because you sent me extra money. But I
Wow.
look at it and I compared it to my other 20s, and it just looked fake and felt fake. So I stopped it for
Wow.
maybe like a month, but then I brought it back because a lot of people do still use cash.
Really? My clients, everybody's tapping.
Tapping in.
Mm-hmm.
I have this one particular client, he still pays with a check.
A check. I do have, and my son put me on blast the other day because he was like, "Are those checks? Why, ma'am? When are you gonna cash those people checks?" But I have my little seasoned people, and they know like I might go to the bank once a month,
Right.
like once every 2 months, and they know, but they balance out their little checkbooks and
Checkbooks.
stuff. But I have like 4 people that I take checks from for my little ladies.
Okay.
Yeah, but everybody else tap. It's a few people who might come in with cash, but yeah.
Yeah, where the dollar amounts going low, so
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is.
But it's like you said, the tap, people using that. So
Yeah, I love it.
either way you can pay me, I don't care.
I love it. Okay.
So Danielle, what strategies do you use to build a loyal client base and attract new clients?
It's my personality. They just love me. I think it's more so when I can be out in the store and I'm like, who does locks? And they're like, oh, myself or someone else. And I may have a card in my hand and I'm like, you got Instagram? And I say, hey, follow my Instagram. And look at, oh, you do. So, yeah, come holler at me. So most of the time, it may take a little while for them to come. But if I see someone that I know or see somebody in the store that has locks or asks me to do their hair, I just kind of put myself out there. And I feel like that's building my loyalty and posting my content a lot. A lot of people, seeing it, they may not like it, but you see it. Um, yeah, and then people always be like, I found you on Instagram, and I'm
Mhm.
like, oh. So
Mhm.
I feel like that's a way of building it.
What about
Mhm.
you, Charles? What do you do?
Like I said, I take a lot of pictures and videos of my work, post them on Facebook, Instagram, and like I said, I get from time to time, I get feedback from new people, interested in wanting to check me out. So, and I also, one of the things that I've noticed that I've got a lot of clients from too, that when I leave from work, I always keep my barber smile on. So
Mhm.
I'm still promoting myself, even when I'm doing my rounds, when I leave work, I'm going to the store or whatever case might be. People are like, hey man, you cut hair?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I get a lot of clients just from keeping my barber smile on
Yeah.
and going to places.
Mm.
Well, Charles, what do you want to do in the hair industry? I mean, you just want to just keep on barbering and nothing else, or what other goals do you have?
As far as barbering or anything in
Anything,
general,
anything in general.
um, actually, I have three different trades under my belt.
Oh,
Outside, barbering was one of them, but that's my love. Barbering is my love. I have 10 years experience in painting. My father had his own painting business, so I still do painting on the side. I got 4 years experience in plumbing. I still do plumbing, and I have another buddy of mine that we get together and do lawn care, power wash houses. So I'm always, reinventing myself. Well, not necessarily reinventing
Mhm.
myself, but those are skills that I have that I still do on the side to make extra money along with, me doing my barbering. So actually, since you asked that, I'm actually thinking about it sometime or another, maybe starting my own little lawn care service and getting me a zero turn lawnmower and
Mhm.
box trailer and
any way to make extra money.
yeah.
Mhm.
How about you, Danielle?
I've been having a passion to open my own business for since I started doing hair, and I'm getting there. It's taken a while. I'm a single mother and feel like I got so much responsibilities, but my goal within the next 5 years is to get my own little suite. It don't necessarily have to be a building. I don't
Mhm.
really think anything too big, but I do want a suite and at least about 3 chairs in there, and eventually I don't want to be behind the chair. I think I still want to do hair for a little while until I maybe in my 40s, but I also want to kind of let my wings go and just have my money just flowing with my people. So that is my goal with hair. I have other ones, but we'll talk about that another time. Might be a little too much, but
So, how do you educate your clients on keeping their hair up?
Mm.
good question. I basically a lot of people don't really know how to keep their hair up.
No, they don't.
So I would just give it to them. If I see something wrong, like if they got real dry scalp or if they don't wash their hair a lot and they come in and they got built up on their locks and stuff like that, I'm like, you can't maintain your hair and wash it at home in between your hairstyles and retwists. So I give them just tips on what to do at home, what type of like satin caps or scarves to use. So avoid breakage and stuff like that because that happens around the edges and giving them, products because I'm learning myself as I'm in the hair industry that these products that you're buying like from the store ain't worth a lick. And yeah, and I'm noticing it causes a lot of buildup on a lot of people's hair, and I'm stopped using it. So I'm going to more the organic side and just straight whatever the product. I use a lot of black castor oil, so it has to be that. It can't be one. It's got to be 100% black castor oil. So I'm trying to get people to kind of understand the difference between the store-bought products and an organic product, just to kind of help you out. So just kind of keep them updated on tips on keep the style going, and that's it.
Do you have products in your salon for your clients to take home with them?
I don't.
Hmm.
I
So we're
don't.
leaving money on the table.
We are.
We, Charles, do you
We
have?
are.
Same here. I don't have any.
Wow. So you guys definitely, that's a whole nother stream of income.
Right.
For your lot clients, you actually could put together a little bundle for them.
Really.
This is what you're going to use. This is what, and then therefore you're not going to have to work as hard when when they come back.
Right.
You don't have to worry about the buildup. And it could be something as simple as getting some little jars to start off with. Your shampoos and stuff that you like, dump it in there, give it to them. Not give it to them, but you could have a sample, or you could you just add it into your fee. You add it into your fee, and that way they have their oil, they have everything that they need to take care of their hair. Beard,
Mhm.
hair, scalp, beard oil, beard balm.
Let me ask this question, 'cause I've had issues or had a couple of questions at times before about beard balm, and I try to be honest with people as possible. As far as I know, I can't specifically tell a person that there's one particular type of beard balm that that's definitely going to work for them. What I've noticed is, and even a lot of times when people sell things, it'll say something like results may differ,
May vary
may
from
vary.
person to person.
Person. So I tell them a lot of times it's like a trial and error. You may have to actually try several different products until you find that one that's fits.
So what do you use on your clients? You don't have to be brand specific right now, but again, the thing is, and I can get with you on that because I do have some products, but I'll give you some things to try and you can actually retail it. But what I have learned is, and Jason, well, I'm from the hair cuttery, so I was 15 years hair cuttery, and retail education is very important because for one, when doing a consultation, we're talking about diet, we're talking about why is your skin so dry? Why is your scalp so flaky? So you want to have something right there, but it's just having the jar of whatever you like to use while you're at home. You got kids?
Yeah.
Get the kids, get some little sample jars, fill it up with a little bit of cream, give it out to your clients, see how that works for them, especially for the beards and stuff, because the products will have your beards looking nice and shiny.
Right.
You can use it on your hair. A lot of the times, it's beard and body balm because it's good for your whole body.
Right.
It's good for your whole body. Our skin, our face, and our scalp is like the most sensitive pieces on our body. So if that can withstand it, your body can withstand it as well. But you guys, we're always looking for more ways to make money. So we need some take-home products.
I left that out on the table, but I did at one point thought and had some ideas, and I remember talking to you too, Jason, with that 4x4. I was just revamp my own, and I kind of got stuck.
Because you're overthinking it.
I think I am.
You're overthinking it. It's just as simple of if I'm gonna do if I like Garnier Fructis, I'm using their shampoo, their conditioner, and oil or something that they have. It's just as simple of until you can get what you need.
Okay.
You're just gonna go to the dollar store,
Okay.
get some little jars, they got squeezy tubes and everything. Fill those jars up. Get a little bag, put it in there. This is yours for only $9.99 or whatever price you're going to attach to it. And that way you're not questioning, because it's all about, I tell my, a healthy hair relationship. I need to make sure that you're doing what you need to do while you're at home so that we can keep this thing going. Because I don't want to work hard.
Exactly.
I'm not lazy, but I just don't want to work hard. And then you have a client was just texting me, hey, when can I pick my order up? Like you can constantly, now I'm not the best at this. I'm not the best. I'm a one-man show.
Right.
And sometimes I forget, like sometimes stuff gets sent back from the post office. Sometimes it never gets delivered. But it's like you have to still work those kinks out. But when they're right there in front of us, sometimes that take-home product can add an additional like $50. Especially with your consultations, they need to prep themselves before they come get that first initial lock.
Right.
So they can be shampooing their hair prior to coming,
Thank
especially with coloring the locks.
Right.
Do you do the enhancements and all the different colors and stuff? They need to be able to protect their skin from drying out. So that's definitely like, I tell it to any stylist, like we definitely, that's the one thing that Hair Cuttery taught me, education. Once you educate that client, you're going to keep your guests are going to stay with you because you're educating them. I might not be the best stylist in the world, but my clients come back because the conversations that we have, and I'm all about solving your problems.
Right.
And retail take home products are definitely going to solve problems and put extra revenue in your pockets.
Thank you.
And don't overthink it.
That's what I was doing.
Because, like you say, you're a content creator, and I'm like, I'm still a hairstylist. I can't. I got a ton of pictures, but
Yeah.
I be scrolling to edit, and then you text, so I'm got to respond. Then you text. I'm not even talking to you no more. Now I'm talking to her. Now I'm talking to him. So it's like
You forget all
it's
about
it's so much.
It is.
But yeah, the money though, money.
I'm gonna work on that.
Yes.
So Danielle, I remember, I mean, how long was social media out when you started doing hair?
It was.
So you can't really tell the difference between before social media and after it started. How do you think, how has it impacted
Well, I would say really since COVID, that's when I really kind of took off because I wasn't posting. I was doing the hair and all of that, but I wasn't posting anything. So I guess I had more time on my hands. So I took the time to actually make sure I got good lighting and the hair looked good. So when I actually posted the work, I actually got more people.
Mm.
I noticed it. I was like, okay, so and then nowadays they don't want to keep seeing you posting pictures. They want to see you doing it.
Do it. Yeah.
So now I need to get into. I bought a little camera. I don't even know how to work it, but I'm trying to do it. We doing those videos.
Yeah.
I'm into that now because I want you to actually see me doing the work now. Like, okay, she's missing about an hour, and I'll be out the door versus just seeing the same pictures all the time.
Right.
What about you, Charles? How you've been in the business before social media
Oh
was
yeah,
really
yeah.
popular. What do you how do you think that social media impacted your career?
I think it helped to reach out further, other than because before it basically was mostly word of mouth,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
or you basically just having, you still should be doing this anyway, but as far as being out with your business cards and going different places, handing out cards. But other than that, yeah, social media definitely helped out a great deal.
Have you been doing like barber cuts, videotaping them and stuff?
Yeah, I have. I haven't done anything recently, and that's another thing I need to get back on board and get because sometimes as barbers you can kind of get a little complacent from time to time. I was going real strong and heavy one time, and then I kind of fell back and slacked off a little bit. But like I said, you got to stay consistent with it.
That part.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
remember
it's hard.
I mean you owned a barber shop before
Hmm.
and now you're working at a barber shop. So what is the big differences for you as an owner and as just an operator?
And
Because I feel like you get less stress when you're just an operator.
Mm-hmm.
it's
Hmm.
it's funny you ask that question because I don't know why, but everywhere I worked at, even when I didn't have my own shop, I still treated everybody else's shop like it
It
was
was.
my shop.
Mm-hmm.
And so even though it wasn't, everywhere I worked, I still treated like it was my shop. People that worked at the shop with me or came to the shop, they more than likely, a lot of them probably thought that it was my shop.
Mm-hmm.
That's rare because most people they don't really care about other people's shops. They just,
Mm-hmm.
And I take care of it, yeah.
what about you, Danielle?
Um, repeat the question.
Well,
Danielle hasn't had her own shop, Jason.
I mean, going back into like when you were working as an operator
Okay.
and when you were paying
Like
let's say like breakthroughs
okay.
compared to
Now.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Um.
What are the biggest differences for you? Is it the money? Is it the
For when I get to pocket on my bread,
okay?
and I'm realizing I'm actually making more. Because at one point I was working breakfast and then I do hair after I got off work, so I'm juggling two things and I wasn't really seeing the money. But since I took off and COVID happened, I leaped the leap of faith and I started to see the money flow, and I'm actually keeping all my money versus it being taken. So with that being said, yeah, 9 to 5 is cool, you get the paycheck, but I actually like to see all my money. So I can see that difference in that,
Okay. So you like it being your own operator
of course,
instead of getting commissions or
of
whatever.
course.
Do you guys work in a salon or shop with someone, or are you just by yourself?
I'm in the shop with two other barbers, another male barber and a female barber.
What about you?
I think I have about 6 stylists and 5 stylists and 2 barbers.
Mm.
But you're never there. It's only really me and the girl Jazz that do braids. So it's like they work weekends. That's what I was gonna say. You know Jazz?
Jazz! Oh my God, Jazz Green. Yes,
Yes.
I love them.
Yes, that's the
Yes,
shop.
I love. Okay.
That's what I was really
Okay,
saying. Yeah. So
that's good.
yeah, it's really just us. So technically, probably about 6 of us total. The shop is big too. It's a big shop.
Do you guys have you ever worked by yourself before? You like working with people or working by yourself?
A lot of times I be in the shop by myself throughout the week because majority of the barbers, they might be like at 3 days out the week. They come in on like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Mhm.
So the other days I've been by myself. I enjoy being by myself at times. It's real peaceful and
Mhm.
I love it. I'd rather work by myself.
Yeah.
Just coming from my home and seeing how I run my home and my business there, and then come to the shop, it's completely different. So I can't do the things like you said. People probably come to shop and they think it's yours. I can't say that about this one because it's for one, it's so big and it's so much going on. I just got to worry about my little station. But I like being at home because it's organized, it's clean. Um, and I'm in my own zone. And then sometimes this may sound a little funny, but when I have 2, 3 other stylists and they're doing locks in the same style, I don't want to feel like I'm in competition, which I know I'm not. But it just seems like if I am trying to get walk-ins, but you got 4 other people that do the same thing, it's kind of hard.
Mhm.
So I think I'd rather be by myself. That's why I want my own like
Studio.
studio.
So you just made it. You just said something key, like with it being 3 or 4 other people in the salon doing the same thing. What sets you apart to make a client say, "Oh, I choose Danielle"? What sets you apart?
Great question. So, being that I had a situation happen like this like 2 months ago, a lady just walked in there. Mind you, one girl right here was doing locks, I was doing locks, and I think someone over here was doing braids. But she came in and she just walked up to me, and I think it was either the style or me just approaching. Hey, how you doing? Because a lot of people don't have to speak.
Correct.
Nobody
Correct.
open their mouths.
People don't greet people anymore.
Like, where's your common courtesy? So when they like people walking through the door, hey, how you doing? And they're like, oh, you do locks? How much you charge? And I'm talking to them. So once I give them that conversation, that's when I'm passing them the card. So I feel like I speak, I open my mouth, show manners, and then they approach me like, hey, I want to get my hair done.
Charles, what about you? How do you like? You say how many barbers in there with you?
it's just 3 of us.
3 of you guys. So does everybody have their own clientele, or
Yeah, everybody.
how do you? What sets you apart from the other barbers that you work with?
What set me apart? Um, I would say my personality, but everybody has their own different
Mhm.
personality. And just like she said, I'm one of those type of people. The way I was raised, I greet and speak, even though that's part of what you're supposed to do anyway when you're in the business. But like I said, I've had a situation before where a person came into the shop and they always say you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. And because the person appeared to be or may have been homeless,
Nobody.
Nobody wants to cut.
nobody wanted to cut 'em,
Correct.
didn't speak or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I grasp and grab everything that come in the door, and I treat everybody,
As you should.
same equally so. And I know they probably looked real funny when that gentleman came, sat down, and got his service. And my intention really was
To
give
bless
him
them.
bless him, give him a free cut. He turned around and paid me way more than
Then
Blessed
what?
you.
And that's
Yeah.
that's the thing. We talked about it before. Because my chair is definitely a ministry, and you'll never know. I do right many free services, complimentary services, because some people are homeless. They're transitioning back into the workforce. They're transitioning back into the world.
Mhm.
But you would never know my paying client versus a non-paying client. And it's your energy.
Yep.
Their energy, the radiate, they can feel the energy radiating
Yeah.
when they walk into the building. Now I do work by myself, and sometimes when I get walk-ins, I'm like, what you doing in here?
Right.
How you find this? But it was like, oh, we Googled you. And it's just like, it's just that smile. It's the talk, it's the greeting. I stay on my tech all the time. Like, talk to the clients. How are you gonna do hair when you don't want to talk to the clients? Like, good morning, good afternoon. That's why I say grand rise, because I don't
Yeah.
good morning. But good afternoon, good evening, how you feeling? Like that's what keeps my chair full. That's what keeps the chair full. Wow.
Conversation too. And
Correct.
I don't like to really have them in a chair. And I mean, you can tell if somebody don't want to talk to you, but
Right, right. That's totally
that's
different.
different. But I like to build conversations up while you're in my chair, so you get to know me and
And
I
I
get
get
to
to
know
know
you.
you. Correct.
Because I don't know who I'm doing like this energy being
It
transferred.
and it is, and everybody cannot be touching you.
No.
You should not allow everybody on your head. I might not be good for you. You might not be good for me. So you have to see if that energy is going to match. I just had a client the other day. She was insisting on what she was going to pay me to do her hair. And I was like, when I got up that morning, I was like, okay, how am I going to handle her? So I was like, I'm just going to go back through and do another consultation. Um, so you're telling me you're only going to pay this amount. This is what you're going to get. She was like, no, because you know you're going to have to do this, that, and the other. I said, well, yeah, that's an additional fee. Well, I'm not paying you that. As a business owner, you need to have a price list. I have price lists. Everything is listed online. My prices don't change monthly, weekly.
Right.
They're the same for everybody. I have resident prices and regular pricing. So, well, do you want my money or not? No, no, thank you. I'm good. Yes, that's exactly what she said to me. Do you want my money or not? Like, no, I'm good. Because if I do this one time, you're going to tell everybody else, and you're going to think that you can tell me what you're going to pay to get your hair done. And I'm just like, wow, who raised you?
Yeah, he knows one.
Like,
I remember.
Was,
yeah.
was it an older person or young?
And it was.
Older
It definitely was. It was. And she told me, well, yeah, I need this done. And I said, oh, well, that's going to be an additional fee.
Right.
And I'm not losing anything because I haven't did anything to your hair or anything. And I told my assistant, I need you to stand here and listen to how this conversation is going to go because I knew it was going to go left.
Right.
But I can't dictate to Dominion Power what I pay to them.
No.
I can't dictate to Richmond Public Works what I'm going to pay them. But you know that you're requesting a different service, but you still insist on, well, all I bought with me today is this. I said, so, well, then I'm just going to give you a touch up.
Yeah.
I need you need to pull my relaxer to my ends. It costs more. It definitely costs. She needed a virgin relaxer and she didn't want to pay for it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I
it's,
tell them do it themselves.
and listen,
If
listen.
if the stylists that come in and talk to you like they should do the hair, and I'm like, I'll tell you how to do your
Correct.
job. And I'm like, do it yourself.
YouTube. YouTube is there. YouTube. How do you guys, we kind of talked about this in the beginning, but how do you guys handle a challenging client? Do you go back and forth with them or do you, because one of my clients made an observation that once she stepped back and put her hands behind her back, she's not touching your hair. And it's funny that my clients, they know, because if I say, I'm just like a doctor. If I'm telling you, I've analyzed your scalp and everything. This is what you need. You should definitely have a shampoo, a treatment, and a dusting today, which is a trim. Well, now I'm gonna just go ahead and just get my a blowout. You've had those braids for 4 months. Your scalp, you need to detox your scalp. You haven't had a trim in over a year. How do I allow them to just get the blowout? You have to get everything. And if they refuse everything else, I refuse service because that's my name.
Right.
How do you all deal with clients? Do y'all run into clients like that?
The only client that just jumped in my mind was a young kid. And I ain't gonna lie, I used to dread when he came in the shop. I really did. Every time he came in, he sat in my chair and said the same thing over and over again. He was like, don't push my hairline back. But the funny thing about this particular person, he didn't even have a hairline. I had to create and
A hairline.
and give him one. And he still was trying to find a reason to try to pick.
Right.
try to pick and find something. I'm like, literally, there was nothing there. And
Wow.
he had me put enhancement in. So like I said, I'm creating and giving you something that you don't even have there.
Wow.
Still was trying to insinuate like what I'm pushing.
Baby, your hairline gone. What hairline? What hairline?
I was still working on mine. I don't have too many, but I would say my last situation, I was going back and forth with her because she brought your 6-year-old daughter who never had anyone touch her hair but her mom. And the fact that she brought her in here, I washed it and I'm detangling. She tells me how to hold the hair, use the brush, and detangle it. So I'm like, I'm not hurting her. I mean, she's gonna feel it, but I'm not
Right.
hurting her. And I had to explain to the daughter like, I'm trying to make you look beautiful and help you get your hair done. I'm not hurting you because she's boo-hooing crying. But the mom persisted in telling me she needs a break. She needs to get up. She needs to use the bathroom. Like stopping me. So at that point, after I did the blow dry, I got to the part where I straightened it out and I was ready to trim the ends, showed her what I was going to take off. She basically, after I took that off, she said it was too much. She felt like it was too short. I took what was needed and I showed her. So basically, after I was ready to style it, she said something and I said something and I said, I ain't gonna do it. And she picked her daughter up and set her down, and then the daughter's like, "Oh, her finish." I said, "All right, let me." It was basically a back and forth thing in the shop, but no one else was in there. So
Mhm.
I wouldn't have did that if it was like a shop full of people. But the fact it was just kind of one-on-one thing, and you telling me how to do my job, you should have did it yourself. That's why I got heated. But I am more so trying to control myself when it comes to like just the response. Sometimes you'll need a response.
So do you do children, Charles?
Yes.
So do you guys feel, because me, if I do a child, I'm gonna be honest, depending on how old that child is, and I see the interaction between mom and the kid,
Mm-hmm.
I would prefer for the parents to
To
sit out.
leave.
I don't want them in the room with us.
Yep.
How do y'all?
That was the problem.
Yeah,
That was the problem.
because the children, and it's like
A lot of people bring children to me because I am real patient with
patient.
children, but I haven't had this happen recently or in a while. But I remember a couple of times what used to bother me was the parents standing over top of me the whole
That
time while I'm trying to cut the child. I'm like, can you please go have a
Sit
seat
down.
somewhere?
Right. Sit down. Go to your car. I think they're giving you a ticket. Yeah.
As long as they see that parent, they gonna cry and think they can get
And
that
they
back.
do. And they do. And some of my clients, when I realize that, I'm like, oh, I say, you gonna go get us food? Every time I come in here, you hungry. Yeah, because by the time you get back, I'm about done with your daughter's hair. And it's just so much easier. It's like, I think that the kids, then I had one little girl, her mommy went to go do her hair, and she was like, wait, you ain't taking me back to that lady. I don't like when you do my hair. And couldn't do nothing but laugh. I was like, and she said her husband was like, wow, you're creating a problem. But because it takes me 45 minutes to shampoo, blow dry, and two-strand twist,
Right.
mom was like, yeah, this is like an all-day thing for us. We have to get breakfast, then get lunch, then get dinner. And I'm like,
That's
what are you guys
frustrating.
doing with these kids' heads? Like,
I've even had that scenario happen before, even with grown men and they
yeah,
girlfriends.
girl, I was gonna ask that.
Oh,
I was gonna ask that. What? So like, I see some of these videos and they're like, "Don't cut his hair like this. I want his hair to look like this. I want this. That ain't right. I don't like does that really happen?"
Yeah, it happens from time to time. It does.
Oh wow.
They be the ones that come up to you in the chair and say, I want you to cut it like this. I'm like, he has a mouth, guys. You can't talk. It's his hair.
You want to sit there to get this cut, or is he getting this cut? Like, wow.
That part can be a little stressful though.
I'm cutting this guy's hair, and basically, the whole time I'm cutting his hair, I'm literally trying to please her. He don't care what it look like. I guess I have to ask her, what, come on and take a look at it. What you think?
What you think? Get her?
Oh
Yeah.
wow. So does that alter the time that it takes with you when you have a situation like that?
It can.
How do you diffuse it though? Do you diffuse it, or do you just have in your mind, I'm gonna cut his hair and I ain't
No,
listening?
I mean, I have tough skin, so I guess I would say I bite my tongue quite a bit, so I don't really speak on it. I just go in, do what I do, and get it done.
Does it make you cut faster when that situation is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out my chair.
Wow. Wow. Prices. How do y'all feel about prices nowadays? How do you guys, I mean, we don't have to get into what you charge, but how do you create your prices for your services?
My time, like the duration of it.
Mhm.
Like some people can charge $500 for like knotless, but if I know I can only do them in 4 hours, I'm gonna charge $250.
So should you charge more because you're doing them in less time? Hmm.
You could, but I also feel as though like this is when I was in the house. I felt like being that I wasn't in a full salon and you had that full salon experience, and you is in someone home, I would have like beat them in the head with prices. Now I have up my prices, but I really feel like it is. I go up my time. Like if I do take 20 minutes to do two braids, I'm not gonna charge you $100 for it. But I'm learning because Jazz is putting me on game. Jazz, you put me on game. Um, she said everybody, because I can have a half a head and charge you 50, but then have a full head and charge you 100. She said it needs to be the same price.
It does, and
Anyway.
it's funny that you say that because Jazz used to hate doing box braids, and I'm like, you're so fast and proficient at doing these little styles that takes you like an hour,
Mhm.
and you can charge 150,
Right.
and you're doing a whole 8-hour braid over here for $200.
Right.
And she looked at me,
Right.
and she was like, I think like a few days later, she was like, yeah, I ain't gonna be doing that no more.
Mhm.
And it's like you work smarter, not harder. But just because you do a service faster doesn't mean you charge them less. You actually can charge more because you're getting them out faster.
True.
You're getting them out faster.
And I think that's what she was telling me. Like,
Correct.
you need to up your prices. Like,
And it doesn't, if I'm doing your hair standing outside in that dirt driveway over there, I still have a license and I'm still a professional.
right.
If that doctor sees you on a house call or in his office or in an emergency room, does the prices change? So why does your prices change?
But I'm fixed. They're more they don't fluctuate, I will say.
Mm-hmm.
The only time they went up is when I did go into the shop, being that I am paying Blueprint there.
Correct.
So other than that, I do need to go in there and minimize some things because I have like a full head and half head, and I think I need to just have a
It's
set price
correct.
versus
Correct.
just trying to break it down and have different prices for everybody.
Correct.
So
Hey, you
Hey,
might lose some clients.
but that's not your target guest.
yeah.
You don't want to.
What about you, Charles? Do you? Because I know. So for me, I used to take my boys to the barber shop. They're grown now, they're men, but I used to take them every week. You're going to get a haircut, and the following week you get a roundup and stuff like that to look fresh. Um, Back when my son was in high school, he's what? My youngest is 23 now, 24. I was paying about $30 for a haircut back then. And it's like now guys are complaining about the pricing for haircuts.
30 is pretty much the average price nowadays for haircuts. Some maybe a little higher, but I would
Mm-hmm.
say basically what most barbers doing now, they kind of look across the board and see what's the average price is and go from there. A lot of time what barbers have a problem with when it comes to customers is they have a perception that when they come in and ask for a haircut, they think that a haircut and a beard is all
One
one
thing.
service. That's two different services. We have to break it down to them and let them know that those are two totally different prices. So, like I say, if you want a haircut, that's one price. You want a haircut and a beard, that's this package price here, and go from there. Now, as far as like, if I have a customer, not all of them, but I have certain customers that they loyal customers that come every week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I cut them a little break, and I may not charge them the full price of a haircut every week because they consistently coming every week.
Mm-hmm.
Versus another person that might come get a haircut once a month.
Right.
Right. Correct. Correct. So what do you guys think about packaging or monthly subscriptions for hair?
I think it's cool. I was looking into Afterpay. You know, people now doing
Oh
that.
yeah, you can do.
I was trying to look.
Are you on? What's your right? How do you guys do your credit card processing?
It's Square.
Ma'am, click the button. They got it.
Square. Well, it's through a QD.
Ma'am, click the button. They got it.
Square.
Guys, this is Love and Beauty here. Reading is fundamental. Ma'am, click that button. You can yeah, your clients have the option to, like, even if you want to like if you want to send them an invoice and everything, they can you just click it. There's a payment. It's your payment option. This is the wrong.
What do you use?
Square. I use Square for everything.
So I'm using a QD, but Square is the payment
Yes.
plan.
So you still can. Who is your credit card processing? Everything is through books.
Yeah, I was gonna.
So you just go in and like if you want to, I thank God for my faithful clients. I can send some of my customers in, but they be like, just send it to me, and I let my clients walk out.
Okay.
Sometimes we're on a time frame and
Right.
they have to get back to work and stuff like that. But when you create your invoices, you just go in and click you just go in and click it, a blowout, and it comes right up. Um,
Yeah, because I didn't get to that part yet. I've seen it. You can pay invoices and stuff like
yeah,
that.
you just go to your payment methods accepted. You got credit or debit, bank transfer, Cash App, Afterpay, or a gift card. And all you do is click on it and they have the option to pay. And make sure when you're sending out your invoices that you click if they want to leave a tip as well.
So is that only when you create an invoice though?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not
Yes.
like if they went on the site and
So if your clients, I don't take prepayments and stuff like that,
Mhm.
but if a client, like a lot of my clients, I will just invoice.
Okay.
Some customers be like, I left my bank card, I ran out the house, I don't have. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Right.
And I send them an invoice. And yes, they pay it.
Okay.
They pay it. But I have a few clients, I'm about to send them a subscription package. They want to just go ahead and add their hair into their monthly bills and they pay it for the month.
Okay.
And I'm like, people are like, well, what if they don't come? And what if these people, they come every week? They come every 2 weeks. So it's like, I'm going to try it. It's like 3 of them. I'm going to try it with to see, and then I'm going to roll it out to other people. And like you were saying, you give like they'll receive like a 10% discount
Okay.
off of their total bill. They can either come every week. It's going to list what services they get done and everything. I'm scared. I'm scared to do it.
Oh, it's
But
good for you.
yes.
Okay, got you.
But I think it's gonna work because we do have our loyal clients that you appreciate them. You let them know that's a way of saying appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
So
to up mine a little bit because I seen that on there too. Packaging and
I
subscription.
think sometimes, well, I think sometimes what you charge also depends on your location or where you're at. Because I know a couple of guys that are charging a lot more than what I'm charging, and they may not even have the experience that I have,
And
may not
charge
even have the
more.
license.
Yup.
so when you go to the dollar store, right? You can get a Pepsi for $1.25. When you go to the grocery store, you're gonna get that same Pepsi for what? I don't smoke soda. Drink soda. So about $2.50. Same with cigarettes. When you go to the airport, how much is it?
$10, $15.
Or,
So it's like it's correct, the different demographics. I don't know if you guys ever, like when I used to live in Hopewell, going in the Walmarts down there, then coming back up to just go to Chester, the prices were different.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even offer some of the same products in the store that they offer. So it's like, it definitely does. It's like when with going to classes and stuff, everybody, well, what you charge? What you charge? She lives in California. She can charge $1,000.
Right.
I live in Richmond. I can't charge $1,000 for that service
Right.
because you have to know like what your target client is and what the demographics there. What is that actually going for?
Right.
What is it going for? So yeah. Mm.
I think that's how I was looking at mine though when I was telling you about my pricing. And being at home and versus a salon, and I guess looking at where I'm located, I don't want to be that stylist that's just kind of overcharging or undercharging either. I'm just kind of in the middle.
Right.
So yeah.
And you have to learn, and you have to also figure out what you want your target guest to be.
Okay.
You have to, do you want like customers that come? A lot of my clients come every week, every 2 weeks. Do you want the money from you probably have every week, every 2 weeks clients. Do you want the customer that comes in, oh, the show coming, oh, it's Christmas, oh, it's a holiday, oh, it's, I really need a cut, like, because I'm going to be honest, those are the clients that you should charge more because they're impeding on your time and your guest time.
Yep. And I do.
You should. You definitely should.
I do.
Definitely. What hours do you guys work? What's y'all availability?
Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay. What about yours, Charles?
mine, I'm normally in the shop Tuesday through Friday and then Sunday, so I'm off Mondays and Saturdays. And my hours normally be from like 9 o'clock in the morning till sometimes 8 o'clock at the latest.
You got Saturdays
Yeah,
off? Wow.
Well, I say Saturdays off, but technically I don't have Saturdays off. I don't work in the shop on Saturday, but I may end up cutting 4 or 5 heads at home. I even have a station at home. So.
Oh. Well, I take Saturdays off.
I used to do that.
I
But
take
the, but
every
the
other
main, but
Saturday
the
off.
reason why I hadn't don't cut hair in the shop on Saturdays because quite a few years back I had young boys that was playing football,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and I wanted to
Yeah.
make sure I
Makes
could get
sense.
the game. So then
With your
since I
kids.
did that, it kind of locked me into where I was having people coming on Sundays. So I just kept it like that.
Well, Sundays are busy. The Sundays can be very busy. If I say if I have things going on during the week, like, oh, if y'all not doing on next Saturday, if y'all want to come out and do some free haircuts at MLK, shout out Dr. Muhammad.
Okay.
A girl, she's doing her back to school rally, and I'm gonna be honest, that's how I learned how to do men haircuts, boys haircuts, by doing them free at her rallies, because I would always ask, hey, can anybody help? Can anybody help? Nobody would show up. And I'm like, don't judge me. But I'm like, you can't complain because it's free.
It's free.
So, but I actually, would take that time, and it would be so funny because I'm like, these people crazy. They didn't lined up to come over here to get a haircut. So I figured I must was doing something good, because I wasn't good with like the ball phase and all that stuff. But now I can I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said next week when?
Saturday, August 3rd at MLK.
Didn't we do a haircut in Monroe Park one time?
Yep, we did. We did. I'm always
remember
for,
it was
it was
cold.
freezing and everybody was going to their cars, getting their blankets and stuff. But I love, 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 love giving back. I'm doing one on the 3rd, and then I'm doing one with Bishop Raymond Words Ministry in Petersburg on the 17th as well. I'm going to go down there and do free haircuts, because you guys do know that God blesses us to bless others.
Yes.
And it's like I have, like, Friday before last, my assistant and I know they thought I was crazy, but I was like, well, we're not working. What are we doing? We're going to work out in the community. We gave out free clothes and stuff like that. And it's like, that's just so, it makes me feel so good to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Like the people you meet, some of those people, they look you back up. Hey, you think I can get a haircut? They call back to get their hair done and stuff. And I'm like, yep, come on. Come on, because I give them my information. I would drag Jason out. Jason always dragging me out somewhere. So they would come out and help. And it was freezing. And some of the people were going to the cars and stuff, getting their blankets. So I'm like, no, we're going to stand out here and be cold, because they're making their beds over there under a tree.
Right.
We're about to go home. We're about to go
home.
eat and go home to our warm house. So it's like, yeah,
I
that's
get it.
that's a whole nother subject that I could just rabble on and on
Yeah.
about. But always make sure y'all are giving back and take time for yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to take time for yourself. You have to have boundaries. Some of my clients, did you get my message? I did. You didn't respond.
No.
It was Saturday at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm off. Do you respond to Capital One
Nope.
when you off?
Nope.
No. So we have to have those healthy boundaries for ourselves, so that we can continue to get up every day and make it happen. Because we have families, we have children, husbands, wives, like kids and activities. That's the one thing when I used to work for the hair cutter, they're like, how is Ingrid doing all this? Joyce would always say, because she gets up and goes to work and she can take her time off. And my stores were always up and running and over budget. So
Right.
we would always meet our goals,
Yeah.
but we still have to make sure we take time for ourselves and our families. We have to, and education is key. Make sure you're reinvesting. Sometimes we have to reinvent ourselves, because I give it to you for saying being a content creator. I ain't there.
I had to do it. I ain't the best. So that's what I'm trying
I ain't
to do.
there.
Thank
Yeah,
God.
it's a lot. It's like this career has become so demanding, because this is a career.
Mhm.
A lot of people have jobs. I love what I do. I can
Exactly.
get up and do it every day. I love it, but we have to make sure that we keep ourselves healthy, so that when we go home to our partners, our children, and society, we can still function.
Right.
We're not mad at the world.
So last question for both of y'all. Since we're doing these podcasts, we've been trying to give back. What kind of tips or tricks would you have for the young ones that are trying to get into this industry? Do you have any suggestions or advice on what they should do just in case they wanted to start? Start with you, Jamie.
Yes, I would say if you are going to come into the hair business, get your cosmetology license or a barber's license, I feel as though if some people don't really know if that's what they really want, but I would recommend just keeping your license current. Pay that yearly fee that you have to pay, because you really don't ever know what can happen, especially like when COVID hit. I was in the shop. I was working at Bishop's on Broad Street, and they closed down, and that's what made me take off with doing it at home. So, I would just say keeping the license current and
You can always have something to fall back on.
Would you say it's different in Richmond than any other city?
Yeah.
How?
Start with the license.
No, with just starting.
Starting,
Yeah. I mean, why would it not?
maybe not. I don't think so. I think everything was
Because they
kind
usually
of go.
say if you can make it in Richmond, you can make it anywhere.
I feel that, but I feel like she said, you got to know the audience and you got to know what you're aiming for. So I can't leave Richmond and go to California and expect to get, so it might be different, because everything everywhere is different. So
What about you, Charles? Any tips or advice for young people trying to start out?
Trying to start out, I would say they would definitely have to have a passion for it. And most of the time, people when you first get into it, they've already been dibble and dabble and trying to, cut some friends' hair. But when you do actually get into the school and get around other barbers, I would say take the time to learn from different barbers. You're not going to learn everything that you need to learn from one particular barber. You grasp things from three, four different barbers, and then you develop your own style of cutting. I would say basically stick with learn the fundamentals of learning how to cut hair instead of a lot of the young guys now they jump into barbering being
Yeah.
a cosmetic barber
Mhm.
yeah,
and using a lot of
Enhancement.
enhancements
I've been
and
hearing that a lot.
don't know how to
actually,
really actually
Cut. They don't know how to cut.
because that's a cover up. I feel like it's like a cover up.
It is.
Yes.
I've pushed your hairline back too far. Zzz, let me spray all this stuff on it.
So that was a
Just
good point right
learn
there.
the basic fundamentals of cutting hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I thank y'all for coming out tonight. I know
Thank
it was a last minute thing, but I think it was great. I think we had a lot of fun.
Take 3.
But yeah,
Thank you for having me.
yeah, we'll do it again, and hopefully we're going to be doing more and more podcasts throughout the city. And we'll be having fun. I thought we had fun.
Yeah.
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 Anytime.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Thank y'all for watching.